is happening currently in the Middle East is of great concern to us. We have already seen prices of fertilizers skyrocket from an average of about $650 per metric ton to more than 1,000 as of last week. We still want to see what's happening now with the continuous or the continued closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which is of ongoing at the moment. So those prices and the restrictions to movement are really affecting us at the moment. We generally use about 400,000 metric tons of compound D and 400,000 metric tons of top dressing fertilizers, which is what we generally need per year to be able to be sufficient as a country. At the moment, most of our top dressing fertilizer is imported from Russia, China, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Belarus, and so forth. So the geopolitical situation is of major concern to us because it restricts this movement that we need for our fertilizers. In terms of basal dressing fertilizer, we do produce some, and we have been restricting imports so that we can allow our local companies to supply. But of course, the capacity of our local companies is low, so we have not been able to get all we want at the local market. So again, we also import a bit of that to augment the local supplies. The implications of these disturbances is that in the very short term we are getting into our winter programming, and the question for most of you is to say, are we then prepared for winter production? The critical issue is that we will need fertilizer, basal and top dressing fertilizer beginning May, and getting into maybe the end of June, we should have applied all our fertilizers for winter. And that is the critical part. If we don't get fertilizers at that period, it means that our yields will be severely affected. We're also going into the summer programming, which of course the preparations for summer begin in winter. And so our summer preparations are actually starting now, and we need fertilizers to be available for the purpose. We generally require about 60,000 metric tons of fertilizers for winter wheat, of which we do have for the Presidential Input Support Program, we do have adequate stocks at the moment for winter. And then with our other producers, the command and banks and other contractors, they had also lined up their inputs, particularly fertilizer, for winter. So for winter, generally we do have the fertilizer available for our production. It is, of course, the price which will hit us, because already we have started to see increases in fertilizers. For business, it's really a question of demand and supply, which will affect. So we are seeing already a 60% increase in urea prices, which generally will affect farmers. Will they be able to access it at that price? So we are seeing and negotiating with our contractors to not reduce the hectarage that they are putting to winter wheat. But these prices are really going to affect us as we get into winter wheat.